Well, people are mad at Nintendo again for like the 5th time, 6th time this year. I don't know how many. I've lost count. But apparently, they are making it to where you can't sue them. Somehow, I don't know how that works.
Nintendo is under fire once again after adding a clause to their end-user license agreement that asks users to waive their right to join a class action lawsuit.
I don't think that they can do that. Even if you sign that and waive your right, I don't think that that actually waives your right. That's actually retarded. Maybe it's to scare people into thinking that they can't sue because they signed a thing saying that they can't sue. That's not how that works. If something bad happens, even if you signed a thing saying you can't sue them about it, you can still sue them over it because a bad thing happened. It doesn't work like that.
Joy-Con Driftgate? Anyone? Users can still sue individually, or they can waive the arbitration notice by sending a written letter to Nintendo of America's office. But Nintendo is instructing users to contact customer service instead, as most matters can be quickly resolved in this manner.
How good's their customer service? It's probably trash. And also overseas, most definitely.
To our customer satisfaction, which is fair enough. In which case, you shouldn't need an you shouldn't need to
have a thing that waives arbitration.
Yes, thank you. That's the words I was looking for. Appreciate you.
I bought your controller, Nintendo, and it broke, and it wasn't supposed to, and I didn't do anything. Can I get a free replacement for that? No? Okay, well, I'm gonna sue you, because you can't do that. Oh, actually, no, I signed a paper here. I can't sue you. Well, shit, I guess I'm fucked then.
I knew you were here for a reason when I do all the talking.
Does that hold up in court? Like, I know you can't answer this, but like...
I think if you give people the right to waive it, there's a solid chance. And I mean, realistically, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this again. Realistically, it's kind of like the whole warranty thing. It's not about whether Nintendo's allowed to do that.
Okay, apparently Legal Eagle said no as well, yeah.
It's about what are the obstacles and what are the...
This will muddy the waters for sure.
It'll muddy the waters, it will make it take more time, and it will make it more expensive.
Yeah.
So even if you could go out and get like an outstanding lawyer who could be like, actually Nintendo, no. The barrier to entry is going to be higher to break through this.
Yeah.
And that's what Nintendo's doing.
Sure, why not? Make it harder to sue them, but also, if it's harder to sue them, then they're gonna have less incentive to not do bad shit, and everything's gonna get worse. You know, I'm here for it. Let's go. I have no reason to sue Nintendo. I don't react to anything Nintendo, actually. I don't play Nintendo games on stream or on camera or anything. I don't use any of their music. I don't use any of their products. I have no reason to be suing them. Until I do have a reason to sue them. If they do something to me after me being that thing that all those things that I just listed, I will sue them. Probably win. So I didn't sign nothing saying that I couldn't sue them.
That's what creating...
It almost feels like a reminder of who they are. Because we already know from personal experience that lawyers are scared of Nintendo. Remember?
We do know that.
Yeah.
We do know that.
So this almost feels like a reminder.
Stop fucking buying Nintendo. I don't even care. I actually don't even care about Nintendo. I don't care what they do. I don't care how they screw the customers, because I'm not one of their customers. You want to keep defending them? Keep defending them. They're just going to keep doing garbage like this. It's going to get worse. It's going to get much worse.
Or like, don't open the gate, there's a dog. You know, you can see the dog, you can hear the dog, but there's also a sign. This feels like the sign.
It's just, man.
I don't care. I don't care. Nintendo can do what they want. I'm still going to buy their products. At the end of the day, it's just video games, right? It's not real. So what if they can take away my games that I paid for? So what if one of my things doesn't work how it's supposed to, and I have to go out and buy a replacement for it full price for $100? And then shit, a couple months down the road, the same exact thing happens. You get what you pay for, man. You keep paying for it, you're gonna get it.
It's frustrating, and I think it's also one of those things where they're creating an environment.
Nintendo is the gorilla.
Yeah,
We had to fund the 100 men, which was the lawyers. Anyway, sorry. Can 100 lawyers defeat Nintendo?
it also feels like they're trying to make the individual user feel like. I mean, even the simple fact of us talking about this is going to make Nintendo's users feel like, oh, it's pointless because they're doing this arbitration thing.
It is pointless. So stop. So just don't buy into their products. It's like, it's that easy. Vote with your wallet. We've been saying this for like ever. For like since 2012 on YouTube. It has been a thing. You don't like what a company's doing, don't give them money. If you keep giving them money, the thing that you don't like them doing is just going to get worse.
I'm not going to send no letter. Ain't nobody got time for that. So realistically, I've agreed to this. So, whatever. And the stupidest part is what Nintendo said is completely true. They could satisfy people by just sending them a new stupid Joy-Con. So then why do they need this clause? Just in case they decide they don't want to. And that's where I get back to the whole warranty thing.
That's exactly the point that I brought up earlier. Thank you, Linus. Like, what if they just don't? What if it just doesn't work?
That's why every warranty has outs in it, because it's written for the protection of the company and has nothing to do with protecting the user. And it doesn't matter how good guy they are and how trust me bro they are. At the end of the day, it just comes down to their willingness in that moment with that current leadership team, because those change, to honor your request. So
nobody ever thinks about that either, that the people at the top change, the rules change, the way they implement things change, the way everything is used changes. So if we implement all these rules, if we say that you don't own games right now, in future somebody's gonna come in and be like, well, we already told you don't own your games. They're actually all our games, 100%. So we're just gonna take away all of your games and your hardware. Oh, actually, you know what? We're not even gonna put software on your system anymore because we just don't trust you. Everything is cloud-based now. You get the system and all it does is run the cloud. The games are actually played from our servers. That's the next step. And then once they decide to not host the game anymore, once the sales start to fall off, they shut down the server. And then you just can't play that game anymore. That's what it's gonna be like if we keep letting these companies do this shit.
Nintendo knows that they could fix this problem by sending you a new flipping Joy-Con, but they're putting this clause in to make sure that if they are ever in a position where they don't feel like it, they don't have to.
The interpretation,
or at
that
least
I had
people will think they don't have to.
read elsewhere was that this was like, is this actually really about Joy-Cons? So I thought this was
no, it's probably not
modding Switches.
I don't think it's about Joy-Cons.
Them being able to brick your Switch.
Oh no, that's a separate one.
Oh.
That's the other one. Separately, they have updated the account agreement to reserve the right to make your console permanently unusable, aka brick it, if you lease, rent, sublicense, publish, copy, modify, adapt, translate, reverse engineer, decompile, or disassemble all or any portion.
I had somebody defending Nintendo on this one, saying that like, oh, do you not read the EULAs? Do you not read the end user license agreements? Because they have it in every one of them. I did the research. This person told me, like, you obviously didn't read the EULA. So I read the EULA. And they don't say that. You know what they say? They say that you can lose access to connectability. Lose access to the online software. And it doesn't even say lose access to software. It says like online software. You won't be able to connect it to the internet and do downloads anymore. And nowhere does it say in anybody else's clause, in anybody else's license agreement, that they can shut down your hardware.
Of the Nintendo account services. Bruh.
Nice.
Well, I got screwed on this Joy-Con. I'm gonna have to modify it, get me some like custom Joy-Cons. Oh shit, that's not allowed. Brick my console. I'm gonna have to send it into Nintendo. Whoops, I didn't mean to. Oh, I signed an agreement saying that if I modified my console, they could brick it. So I'm just screwed and I can't do anything. Even though this was their problem I was trying to fix, that they refused to fix. That's what we're getting into.
This was the topic I was reading. That's why I was
You 1000% do not own the Nintendo console you buy anymore, which would be fine.
You don't own your games. You don't own your systems. They've decided you don't own the systems anymore either. You are renting them. You rent them for a flat. Pretty soon, you're not going to be able to access anything on it without buying the monthly Nintendo subscription.
It would be more fine if we were still in the era of like carts that actually had all the game data on them and that actually worked completely without Nintendo's online services, but is way worse in the era of carts that don't have game data on them. And that Nintendo can just decide at some point,
well, we gotta go back. We have to go back. The Super Nintendo had it perfect. Nintendo 64, perfect. We should have just stuck with that and just made those better. We shouldn't have ever gone on to a different medium.
Or could stop existing at some point, however unlikely, and they just like don't work anymore and it's like illegal or whatever to try to get it working.
I think they can probably ban individual carts too.
Dude, this is crazy.
I didn't even think about that. They can like straight up just ban your cartridge. Like, if they find out that you're selling the cartridge to somebody and you're not allowed to do that, actually, did you know that? You're not actually allowed to sell your games, according to Nintendo. So they could just ban your cart for trying to sell it to a friend.
This is crazy.
I wonder if they detected that a cart was being used too many times, if they would ban it.
I don't know.
What if there's a uses?
I do think this is one of those things that, again, they'd probably want to be too trustworthy a bro to just do this all the time, but it does definitely give them
They're fighting so hard against piracy that they're causing more piracy.
Tools to go after the modding community, especially anyone who's trying to unlock homebrew gaming on their Switch too, in a way that they potentially haven't before, and especially anyone who tries to enable any kind of online functionality. I think that's the thing that this is mostly going after, especially because they make it clear that this is part of the account agreement, and they are specifically referring to Nintendo account services. Either way, it is very clear that Nintendo is tightening the noose when it comes to emulation, console hacking.
Yeah, and it's gonna bite them in the ass because people don't like this.
Look, as someone who buys my Nintendo games, like, this doesn't impact me financially, but as someone...
I suspect this will change the purchasing decision of extremely few people.
But as someone who really likes emulation for lots of other...
This just solidified the fact that I will never buy Nintendo products again. That's all it's done to me. I already wasn't buying Nintendo products. And, I was on the edge with the Switch, but I'm not getting a Switch 2. No way. I'm not even going to get one used because I'd like for it to work 15 years from now. At least all of the games that I have.
Reasons, and as someone who cares about archiving and preserving game history, I am not stoked, is what I'll kind of say about that. This is a great comment in chat from Hathos says 1 million plus people playing Tears of the Kingdom before launch on Yuzu really set Nintendo down a harsh path, and I guess I can understand that to a degree. I mean, it's not like Nintendo doesn't have evidence, like real hard evidence to point to that they have been impacted. And if you're going to pull out that tired argument that there's no proof that piracy ever affected the income of those million people wouldn't have bought the game, and stop. Really?
Well, okay, this one's complicated because there's so much nuance and you don't know the nuance. Because how many people who pirated it and played it early also bought the game? How many didn't? How many weren't going to buy it in the first place and played it? It's like, it's so messy. Also, yeah, fight against piracy. But also, you know what makes piracy worse? Increasing the prices of all your games and locking people out of their hardware. That's how you increase piracy.
You're going to tell me, out of 1 million people, none of them.
It's not a 1-to-1.
You can actually stop now.
There was cases back in the day, I think with like Napster and stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Where the lawsuit was based on a 1-to-1 loss, which is why people quote that, which is legitimate.
Obviously stupid.
Yes,
Nintendo did not lose out on 1 million sales.
I think it's
but it
somewhere,
also wasn't zero.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the middle, but I think it shifts closer towards the 0 side than the million side, and significantly closer towards.
Either way, if it was 10%,
then it's still.
If it was 5%,
it's still a lot.
It was a big number.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line,
it's
right?
A large sum of dollarinos.
Is companies will only ignore this stuff.
Well, if people weren't priced out and locked out of games, you know, then everything would be fine. Even if people pirated it and games were $50, they still probably, there would have been so many more people buying your games for $50. Games should be $50 in my opinion, at least for AAA titles. For smaller games, I think they should be less than that, like $30, $20, $10.
Until it hits their bottom line hard enough that the cost of dealing with it, iron-fisted, is less than the cost of absorbing these activities. And that's where we're at.
I think
it's just creating bad sentiment, though. It's putting a bad taste in people's mouth. And it's just another bad flavor. And they keep putting shit in our mouths and trying to shove shit down our throats. Then we're eventually going to get tired of all the shit. I already got tired of the shit.
Nintendo's opinion on that is a little bit more on the rather deal with it iron-fisted side.
Yeah, because it's cheaper right now. But how is it going to affect them later? Because they keep pissing people off. Eventually, the ice that they're walking on is going to break.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Given their precedence.
Unique username goes, actually, with the correct spelling, ACKSCHUALLY. Pirates helped Nintendo sell more copies by word of mouth. Oh, that argument is also exhausting. It's like
very good.
It literally makes me tired immediately. I know you're kidding.
I don't care about the price. I don't care about how much money they make or lose. All I care about is access, fun, and playing the games. And Nintendo likes to lock people out of fun so they can maximize their profits. So I just don't care. I actually don't care.
No, I know you
keep it up.
I know you're kidding, but when I see that kind of stuff unironically, I'm just like
you gotta wear them down.
I'm so tired. Also, if you think that Nintendo cares at all about word of mouth marketing, may I present Exhibit A: every game streamer that they've ever stomped on.
True. This is why I was out of Nintendo in the first place. It was like back in 2012, 2014 when this was a huge problem. Remember, what was it, like the Nintendo partnership thing? Where you could pay Nintendo to play their games online? That was fucking insane.
Who's like speedrunning their games or like doing something really cool, like collecting all the Korok seeds or whatever that Nintendo has DMCA'd. Nintendo don't give a fuck at all about word of mouth marketing. I tell you what.
Nintendo is actually a garbage company. And they're stupid. They're really stupid. And also, really corporate. Money hungry and evil. They don't make games because of the passion of it. They make games to maximize profits for shareholders and the people at the top so they can line their pockets. Absolutely disgusting. I'll never play Nintendo. Well, I say I'll never play Nintendo. I'll never play official Nintendo. I will never buy another Nintendo console. I will never purchase another Nintendo product. I will never give them love. Fuck that company. Fuck Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong. Fuck them all. I love them, but I'm not paying money for them, but I'll still play them if you catch my drift. That's all I got for this one. I got t-shirts down there in the description. You should buy one. I'm out.